Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Isaac time. How about that? Encoding overloaded? Alright, I hear ya, OBS. I hear ya. It's a pretty intense game. It's, I mean, between this and Super Auto Pets, man, I'm really grinding down my video card. Okay, here you go. We've been getting a win with randomizing, so let's run it back, man. Boss Rush Lamb. Boss Rush Lamb. Boss Rush Lamb. Why does this sound like a company that makes like bathroom hardware, like faucets or something? Maybe because Bosch and Lamb is a bathroom supply company. Maybe that sounds plausible to me. It is a Sunday, by the way. Feels good to be here. A little in the afternoon, instead of in the morning, or you know, in the I guess I do the afternoons on you know, videos that I'm able to record. Oh, see ya. Took a little bit of a gamble there. That got the blood pumping. Normally on the weekends when I record, I end up recording a little bit earlier in the day, but actually kind of slept in, which was, I mean, I wouldn't say needed, you know, but definitely enjoyed. I wouldn't say that I was, like, you know, necessarily in desperate need of, you know, getting 8.5 hours sleep, but I'm not gonna say no to it. And I'm feeling good. Didn't really get up to too much yesterday. Although I will say, I'm not trying to cause problems or consternation. I finally watched Shang-Chi, which is actually Shang-Chi, available on Disney Plus now. I enjoyed it, okay? But I also have to, I don't know if it's just because I watched it, like, in such close proximity to Dune. And I hate to be that guy who's like, it's good, but 99% of my conversation about it is, like, just the things that I would change. But, like, it's, like, the definition for me of, like, a very workmanlike, like, competent Marvel origin story. Very cool. Especially near the start of the movie, lots of very cool choreographed action scenes. Had a fun time. Definitely not suggesting that it is not enjoyable. But it hews so close to that, like, Marvel formula that you know what this, I mean, I've said it many times, you know, the difference between, like, your biggest fan and your biggest hater is a very narrow line, and sometimes it's literally just like the passage of time. They gotta get, if they want to keep me, which they, you know, may not really care about, they're not necessarily in danger of losing me yet, you know. It's not like the people who are like, if he plays Auto Pets one more time, I'm gonna unsubscribe. No, wait, don't go. Sorry, dude. That's a quote from Willy Wonka. You can't be mad. It's just a quote from Willy Wonka. I mean, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. But it is a quote from William Wonka in the movie. Seems weird to call him William, right? Maybe it's short for Wilfred? Wilbur Wonka? I don't know. Regardless. They're not necessarily in danger of losing me yet, but, like, I certainly, I guess where I was disappointed slightly was just that I had felt like, you know, Shang-Chi was hyped up, which is also Shang-Chi. I don't know, now I'm committed to the wrong pronunciation for some reason. It's anchored in my brain. It was hyped up. People were like, this is one of the best, like, Marvel well, not originals, you know what I mean, though. Like, one of the best origin stories they've done. And I'm like, I don't know if I disagree. But at the same time, like, it's just so kind of played out that by the end of it, I was like, that was fun. There's a lot to like, and it was enjoyable. I guess not every movie needs to stick with you for, you know, hours and hours afterwards. Like, there's no crime in just making a movie that's, like, you know, pretty good. But I was also like, you know, Dune kind of stuck in my, it like simmered in my sauce pot for a while, you know what I mean? Like, I still got it in there, still turning stuff over from Dune in my head, still imagining the images from the movie, and then Shang-Chi, I'm like, that was good, that was fun, no disrespect. Anyway, I guess, you know, I gotta temper my expectations a little bit, but also, I don't know, I'm starting, you know, like, the whispers of the Marvel haters are starting to get through to me a little bit. The one thing I will say, I'm all, in any time, like, because I made a tweet this weekend, it really offended the people who love Ridley Scott, okay? And I'm a Ridley Scott, not defender, because, I mean, like, have you seen some of his work? But I enjoy Ridley Scott's science fiction movies in particular. I got nothing against, like, Gladiator, I haven't seen The Last Duel or, you know, Kingdom of Heaven, but, I can't believe he made a Robin Hood movie like 5 years ago. What was he thinking? Maybe that's like 10 years ago now. I can't remember. I mean, we don't... If there's one thing that the Earth doesn't need, it's any more Robin Hood movies, okay? Like, I think we're tapped out. The only exception for me would be if we could get Baz Luhrmann to make a Robin Hood movie in the same vein as, like, the 1990s Romeo and Juliet, where, like, you know... King Richard has like an Uzi or something like that, then I might be persuaded, but otherwise, I don't know. I'm not sold. Give me this. But like Ridley Scott he got interviewed, and like these blogs know what they're doing. They always like, hey Ridley, I know you're here to promote this art movie. You're an 85-year-old man who considers himself an auteur. How do you feel about Marvel? And it's always like, I don't really like it that much. I don't really get it. And then it starts the Twitter discourse. I just butted in a little bit because I wanted to say, hey Ridley, love those movies where you make the alien bleed make the android bleed white goo. Love. Hey, Source, this is not an alien movie. Source, dude, just trust me. Oh wait, there's the white goo. There's the android with ambiguous motives. Is he part of Weyland Yutani? We don't know yet. I'm not going in there. Wait, Boss Rush Lamb. Okay, we gotta go a little faster. Look at that, man. He found an alien embryo. You wouldn't believe it. Guess what? His name's Adam, because it's kind of like a biblical thing. Don't worry about it too much. And he's releasing the alien face hugger into the crew quarters while they sleep. Dude, the only thing that could possibly, like, interrupt his plan right now is if, like, a very strong female lead with short hair, you know, who also was, like, taking care of somebody else. She was, like, a caregiver, like maybe a mother, some might say. But maybe not like a biological mother. Maybe she's assuming the mother role in a way that really makes you think. And then, no. Don't make the android bleed the white milk, Ridley. You've done, anyway. Ridley Scott can say whatever he wants. I'm always surprised when people are like, yes, finally, someone's saying it. You can't... They changed the look of those guys, didn't they? That's kind of sick. That's a great patch addition right there. You gotta keep them guessing, man. They're always like, the Marvel movies have, like, you know, so much cultural hegemony, you can't escape them. And I'm like, you could totally... I didn't hear... I'm like in the circles. I didn't hear anything about Shang-Chi except that it's, like, pretty good for months. You know, no spoilers. It's really just like, you know, I'm sure if you get annoyed that you're seeing trailers for that and not seeing trailers for, like, you know, the new, you know, A24 movie or something like that, well, you know, what do you want me to tell you? Stop watching Monday Night Football and you'll stop seeing so many Marvel trailers. So what do you think you're going to be watching? Like the Buccaneers playing the, who they playing at? The Washington football team? There we go. See, I keep it current. I don't even follow football. It's just they see football as a cultural hegemony, man. I haven't even turned on my television today, and I know Tom Brady's losing by, you know, 2 scores right now to the Washington football team. Don't even get me started. But anyway. So that, you know, I saw it, and I was like, yeah, that is pretty good. This is basically where I'm at. It's no Dune. Guy who has seen 2 movies in 2021 so far. Not getting a lot of Dune vibes from this, but still enjoyable. But I guess it depends what Marvel is, what they want, right? You know, if they want to just put out, and which they have been doing, like, this is not recent, but if they want to just put out, like, you know, workman-like origin movies, and then, you know, every once in a while you get, like, a Thor Ragnarok, which mixes it up a little bit. I mean, that was, like, you know, 5 years ago or whatever, but still. And every once in a while you get one that they do really well, like the new Spider-Man movies are maybe a cut above, then that's all great news. How dare you, by the way? Like, 1/6 of my damage just got eroded with a single hit of a keystroke. Is a little rude. Anyway, and then, you know, like, once every 5 years, they come out with, like, hey, it's a huge team-up movie with, like, you know, multiversal implications, then, you know, that's fine. I guess that's fine. I'm just saying, catch me in the A24 universe, where Midsummer and Hereditary meet. I'll be there, man. The Ari Aster cinematic universe. There's no other filmmaker that can just make, like, suburban American life look so scary. Okay, I guess I'll take it. I guess I'll take it. I'm not sold on this run. Like, we have a very good character. Truth be told, like, I mean, Dark Arts is actually just, like, literally overpowered. Like, genuinely one of the strongest spacebar items in the game. But we have some problems here. Namely, we haven't found, like, an HP engine, which as Dark Judas is, like, or Tainted Judas is admittedly, like, a tricky thing. This is a tricky room, by the way. Are we done? Are we done? We're done. You're not stopping, huh? But, you know, just kind of a fairly typical Isaac experience right now, where I do still feel like, would it kill you to give me, like, one good item? I mean, look, I'm not trying to cause problems or whatever, I'm hoping maybe this floor we got. Okay, so this floor might not be the savior we're looking for. But next floor we should have a really good angel chance. And the angel deals, that's where the meat and potatoes lie now, man. That's where the... Well, you know what? And also, we got Shoop the Whoop, so I can't really complain too much. But here I am, doing everything I can to complain just a little bit more. Let's keep our donation machine strong. I don't mind Blue Candle. I think Blue Candle's pretty good, but I do think Shoop the Whoop is better. Well, it depends. But I like using Shoop the Whoop more. Sometimes. I'm gonna keep it, okay? And if you got a problem with that, you can take it to the bank. The blood bank. Senator Trent. Steven Seagal. Okay, keep it moving. So yeah, that was my Saturday. Or our Saturday, I should say. I had a good time. Can't complain. Lots of... I was lucky, managed to get outside a little bit with the baby on Saturday. I know I've been talking about the weather and Marvel, like, literally, like, you could not make, like, a portrait of a man more torn between his perpetual state of arrested juvenile adolescence and, like, his willful slide into old age mundanity. But I've been talking about the weather in Vancouver. I gotta tell you, I actually Googled today. Vancouver 2021 November monthly precipitation. I'm recording this on the 14th of November. No joke, we're having, like, you know, a weather alert, which is not as serious as it sounds, but basically, like, the Weather Channel is like, it's raining, like, a lot. If you have a basement, you know, you might want to... The water's getting warm, so you might as well swim, if you know what I mean. Incredible, we had a tiers downgrade, and yet still, that is not what we're going to get a reward from Consolation Prize. Just a little surprised is all. Not too, just a little surprised. I'm happy we got enough bombs here. So today is November... You might have seen me tweet this, by the way, but today is November the 14th, and so far in Vancouver, we have had 13 days with... noticeable or significant, as in, like, statistically, measurable precipitation. Just getting a little tired of it. Not like, you know, it's not the end of the world or anything like that. And again, rain is one of those things where, you know, people always go like, oh, well, geez, send some of it over here. I really, like, thanks for your sacrifice of saying that you would, like, want this, but not actually having to deal with it. Like, I get it. Not having any rain is annoying. But, like, having rain every day is also annoying. You gotta put yourself in my shoes to some extent. Like, first off, I'm not a crop. I do eat, you know, plants on occasion. So I'm not disappointed, like, on a biological or ecological level that there's, you know, some water going on out there. I appreciate it. But as somebody who's, like, not a tree, and also has a 1-year-old, I'm just, like, those walks with a podcast are, like, honestly the closest I get to any form of, like, meditation in my life right now. That and Isaac episodes, Super Auto Pets, the couple of hours of solitude. And I know how this sounds. It's like, it sounds like I consider spending time with my child to be a chore. That's not the case. Any parent will tell you it's a gift. And there's a couple of reasons they'll tell you that. One is because if you ever are like, I'm a little, sick of singing the wheels on the bus for the 200th time today. People without kids are like, you always hear that if I had a kid, I would cherish every moment of time. Look, you would probably cherish almost all of them, but there would definitely be times where you're like, I just want to take a dump. I'm happy to serve as the lightning rod, and maybe also like to be an affirmation for other new parents that, like, if you're going to these, like, activities and nobody is ever saying something like, man, I'm kind of sick of these diapers, then they're the weird ones. You're the normal one. I'm not necessarily suggesting that they're lying. There will come a time, a few times a day, in between moments of pure magic and wonder that you're, like, raising a human being who's, like, partly you and partly your partner, and it'll, like, boggle your mind. You learn more about yourself when you do it. You learn more about your partner. You learn more about your parents. Like, it's crazy. You get closer as a family, but there are some times where you're like, I would love to just not be forced to hold in my urine for, like, another half an hour until I'm sure that she's safe here. But anyway, so, like, I love, especially, and I think it's good for the baby to get outside, in the stroller. I do, like, activities with the baby. I say, where's the doggy? And then she goes, dog. And she points to, like, a dog. And I go, you did it. And then I say, baksu. And then that's Korean for claps. So she claps for herself. It's very good for her self-esteem. Inside, look, we've done a better job of it recently. Like, as she gets a little bit older, she's more able to not entertain herself, but at least be only lightly supervised instead of, like, hands-on supervised, 24/7. We can just kind of be in the same room while she plays with some toys herself, and then when she gets bored, that's our time to pop up and be like, the wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. But there's a lot of the wheels on the bus, man. Which, again, I might add, is actually an incredible, probably the best children's song, because it can be as long or as short as you need it to be. What a beautiful squandered setup. Like, if you needed the wheels on the bus to go for 20 minutes, you could do it. You could just start being, the pork tenderloin in the bus needs to be defrosted, be defrosted, be defrosted. The pork tenderloin on the bus needs to be defrosted. Can you please defrost the pork tenderloin? Like... Okay, let's pivot. We got baby talk, we got Marvel talk out of the way. Let's get down to business here, okay? Food talk. You ever think it's crazy that, like, the tenderloin of the chicken, which is the spot of... Ooh, I gotta go! I should have used Dark Arts, man. Which is the spot of, the line of particularly tender meat right under the chicken breast. Tenderloin on the chicken, pretty good. Maybe not the most prized cut, but certainly, one of the best parts of the chicken breast, which has lost some favor, maybe in recent years, but still has its uses. In a salad, for example, deep fried, for example, in a chicken McNugget, for example. We gotta go to the shop, man. This is like, this is what it's all about right here. We're not gonna, well, you know what? We actually might make Boss Rush, surprisingly. Beef tenderloin, I would say, is not the most prized, but it's one of the most expensive cuts, and it is well liked. A beef tenderloin. What is this? Hold on. What is this? What is this? Removes oldest passive item. Spawns 2 random items from the current pool. Dude, I would totally remove my HP plus luck upgrade to spawn some angel deals. That's like a given. This is potentially very, very important. Anyway, Beef tenderloin, it's not my favorite cut of beef, but it's pretty good. Probably the most well-loved cut right now. You know, it's got to be either a strip loin or a ribeye. Probably the ribeye. Everyone talks about rib. Whenever, like, you know, someone's having a nice meal, if they eat beef, they're like, I'm getting the ribeye. If they're trying to flex. Okay, hold on. This is so important. Duality, I don't care for. We didn't even lose HP off that, so this is very important. This is honestly quite nice. I think that'll help us with Dark Arts. I think we want Swarm Protector more than Duality. No, you know what? I hate to say it, because I don't think that it's that good for us to have Duality here, but at least if it were normally... The problem with Duality, I guess, is it's hard to test it against the alternative case, right? Like, Duality, if we see both deals, we will say, oh, like in our head, oh, it didn't do anything for us because it gave us, you know, a deal anyway that we wanted to go into. But you got to keep in mind, like, roughly 50% of the time, when you have angel deals that you're looking for, you're gonna get a deal with the devil instead, just because you never, like, shake a deal with the devil precedent. So I gotta start to see Duality a little different, I think. It's not like a, it's not useless, I guess, assuming it works, which I'm hoping that was fixed in the patch, or and I have to wait for the next one. But I guess the thing with Duality is it's the only item in the game that actually allows you to get, like, an angel deal precedent, which is kind of sick. I really do not want to do Boss Rush. I'm just gonna own that. Our stats are horrendous, considering where we're at in the game. We're being carried entirely by 2 items here, one of which is Shoop da Whoop, the other one is Dark Arts. Sensor's helpful, don't get me wrong, but... Anyway, like, we can continue our bit, okay? So, Boss Rush is probably not going to be in the cards for us no matter what, but... Anyway. So, you know, excuse me? Chicken tenderloin, relatively, you know, prized, to an extent. Beef tenderloin, prized. Pork tenderloin, as far as I'm concerned, it's got to be one of the worst cuts of pork. I don't mean to offend anybody that's a pork tenderloin stan. All I'm saying is, like, when it comes to pork, the fat is a big part of it being good. Like, I've said many times, probably too many times, that I actually look at pork as, like, the most underrated meat out there, because so much of its consumption has been, like, you know, overcooked for food safety reasons, you know, dry as a shoe, etc., etc. But if you cook like a pork chop, we're never gonna make, with 4 seconds, we weren't gonna make it anyway. If you cook like a bone-in pork chop properly, like if you cook it like a steak, maybe add a little glaze in there, it's delicious. It's underrated. You can get, like, a beef flavor for pork prices. I love it. I don't know. How old am I? I can't tell if I'm, like, 6 or 600. Anyway. Regardless. Pork tenderloin, though, I think it's just because, like, I think it's funny that, like, to some extent, I love my mom's cooking, but some of the meals that I routinely ate growing up, just thinking about them, maybe because I consumed them 1 to 2 times a week for, like, literally 18 years. Just thinking about them, I'm like, no, I'd rather not. And pork tenderloin is one of those things. My mom used to make, like, a mustard-wrapped pork tenderloin. Like a mustard sauce and, like, some mashed potatoes. It was, like, not bad. This is my memory from, like, you know, we're going on almost 20 years ago. But, like, just the thought of, like, eating it, I'm like... It's one of the reasons, like, I don't think I will ever... Well, it would take a special situation, like going to a place with a carvery or something like that, to get me to order roast beef. My grandma used to cook it all the time. It was always, like, she would buy a roast, unfreeze it, cook it to the point where it became, like it had stitches in it, basically, you know what I mean? Like, the beef was tasting like chicken, you'd get, like, little beef gravel in your teeth and stuff like that. No sauce at all. Oh, man. Okay, so we're supposed to fight the lamb, which is not so nice because I'd like invincibility, but nice because that's our first damage upgrade. Anyway, now maybe Shoop the Whoop is a little bit more of a carry. That's not so bad. You got to be very careful. Okay, sure, thank you. We might as well check. I think we're kind of forced to check, quite frankly. Thank you. I don't know what I was thinking there. I thought that would teleport me out. Kind of sick. Kind of sick. Wonder if it's better to start with Dark Arts on a room. So then after you get a small damage up, your Shoop the Whoop is a little bit, or maybe like double as effective. I was going to say a little bit, but... No, thank you. That's how we got into this mess. In the first place. Sure. Sure, that's true. True, that's true. Anyway. Just little things that cross your mind, right? Beef tenderloin? Sure, wouldn't be my first choice. But, you know, if you're in the mood, by all means. Chicken tenders? Of course, you know, absolutely. Sign me up. Pork tenderloin? Do you have, like, anything, like a porchetta? I'll take, like a pork chop. I'll take a loin, like like butterfly slice loin instead of just the tenderloin. Like, you're cutting all the good stuff off? I don't think so, man. Anyway, this has been another episode of Ryan's Butcher Corner. Hope you enjoyed it. I do have to tell you, so, like, we're getting started. I would say I'm not calling my shot yet, okay? But I think we're on the cusp of being on the cusp of entering another bit of a fitness kick. Got pretty out of shape during the pandemic, and also the, you know, baby and the fatherhood duties that really is a major adjustment in your life when it comes to, like, figuring out how much time you have to do anything at all, really, for yourself. And some of that, admittedly, I'll just own it, man. Like, some of it is just, like, laziness. Not all of it, because, like, there are some nights where you're just like, I am, like, too exhausted to cook. And, like, well, like, not even that. It's just, like, it burns, like, your willpower. And you're just like, you know what? Normally, like, were I in a different place in my life, I think I would have the built-up self-control to say, you know what? Let's not get the chicken nuggets tonight. But because you're like, I'm going to treat myself, because I was singing The Wheels on the Bus 25 times today. So I'm going to get the chicken nuggets. But I can feel the pull. I always feel it in myself in, like, cycles. I can feel the pull now of, like, let's get back in the habit of exercising. Baby being in daycare has created a little bit more space in my life. Find myself gravitating again towards healthier foods. You might not know it from the steak conversation, but, you know, steak is not necessarily that bad for you. It's more bad for the environment, really. But, you know, well, it's another thing we can tackle in time, you know? I don't mean we as a society. I mean, basically me. I guess I just mean me. Save myself some time on that one. And I gotta tell you, so Kate's got a baby cookbook. She made the baby some overnight oats. Little bit of Greek yogurt, which I've heard now is also bad for the environment. But just let me have this one, okay? Just for today at least. You know, you soak the oats overnight. You got a little, like, agave syrup in there from the agave syrup anecdotes. And I gotta tell you, like, I've been thinking about it all day. It's like one of the most delicious breakfasts I've ever had in my life. I'm not saying it's the healthiest breakfast on earth, but certainly healthier than eating the leftover Korean fried chicken, which I'd originally intended on doing, and will probably do after this video's done recording. This has to be better than Shoop the Whoop, because we can at least save it for maybe longer-term purposes. Going to the lamb, 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 I'm going to the lamb, going to the lamb, I'm going to the lamb, I'm going to the lamb. Okay. We should win this. I think we should win this. I just, like... Please, I know how this sounds, but, like, again, we're kind of reaching, like, that Afterbirth Plus point just to an extent where I'm like, you're seeing this, right? Like we've been complaining about not really having damage for several runs now, and then every run that goes by is like we continue to not have very much damage. You just kind of find yourself being like, well, like, I'm not going to apologize for it, because clearly we, you know, we're on to something. I still think, and it's, look, I'm not trying to be negative about Isaac. I've been having more fun in the last few runs, honestly, versus the ones that came on that, like, -8 streak. Although some of those were, like, good runs with Tainted Greed that we just lost because Tainted Greed is hard, or, you know, we lost with the loss, Tainted lost because Tainted lost is hard, etc., etc. But I do think that the problem, as novelty has decreased a little bit as you know, naturally get a little bit more familiar with the game, I do feel myself feeling a little bit of the grind again of item bloat, you know, where they've added a lot of strong items. They've made the angel room stronger, and you know, things like self-sacrifice rooms are substantially, well, I don't know if that's a repentance change, but I've at least come around to self-sacrifice rooms being much more viable. And that's carried the enjoyment of the game and the perceived strength of the game for a bit. But now I'm also having some runs where, like, we'll just talk about hypothetically, you know, you end up getting homing bombs, Little Steven, a shot speed upgrade, Leo, consolation prize, range upgrade, HP upgrade that you can't even really use, Blue Baby's only friend, a range and luck upgrade, ball of goo, a luck upgrade. You know, you just get like a lot of those in very close proximity to one another with no damage upgrades, and I'm trying not to take too much out of just one. It's not really one run, and I'm not, you know, I hate the idea that you gotta play perfectly in order for your criticisms to be understood, but, you know, because I just walked into the spike for no reason, or I blew up a rock for no reason there. Help. I'm just saying, like, I'm starting to hit that point again where I'm like, it would be nice if there was, like, a built-in, like, pity timer. Where, like, every time... Well, you know what I think it mostly is? And here we go again. Like, let's kickstart 6 months of talking about this nonsense. I actually don't want to Boneheart with this character most of the time. But I think it would be kind of sick if they just removed, like, all the shot speed upgrades from the game. Especially from boss pools. And maybe, like, that would take care of itself, you know? Or maybe if, like, boss room pools guaranteed a stat increase. Like, they, you know, stuff like Booster Pack and, you know, Pageant Boy. I'm not saying it's always bad. There's times where that can be pretty nice. But I can't... I mean, I feel like that's the main engine for your stats, and so often I seem to have, like... increasingly, like, oh, we went, like, the whole run without getting a damage upgrade at any point. Or, like, a health upgrade. I mean, admittedly, this is kind of a fringe case because we're playing a character that can't really use it. We're also, I'm realizing, just due to the composition here, we're probably just gonna stomp. So I'm basically being a baby. But... well, I'm not really being a baby. I'm not even complaining that hard. I'm just saying, like, it just kind of stinks to get no damage. Like, that's what makes Isaac fun, is when you don't have to be so strong that you're, like, you know, killing enemies super easily, but the combination of, like, low-ish... Can you just... Thank you. The combination of, like, so many runs with relatively low damage and then, like, bosses that are so freaking tanky. That's where, for me, I just find myself being like, you know what? So, like, if maybe it could be... And again, I'm spitballing here because you know, you gotta talk about what you know. And what I know is complaining. Very well. Very well. What if, like, if your damage stat... Or if your DPS, as defined by, like, your tiers plus your multiplied by your damage stat was, like, below a certain threshold, then when you got to, like, the dark room or the chest, they just dropped Cricket's head. or like a 6 room was guaranteed or something like that. Oh, but what if you had a special run where you had soy milk, so your rate of fire was really high and your damage was really low, but you also had a cool tier effect that made it so that you were actually doing more damage than you expected to do in a situation like that. Okay, then you know what you do in that situation? You have fun. Who are you, Randall from the television cartoon Recess? Like, you know, you paid for the game. It's not illegal to have fun. But then some people with underpowered runs would end up getting a benefit. You know who you sound like right now? I'm not even gonna get into it, man. I'm not even gonna get into it, man. Okay, good stuff. You sound like Joe Manchin. That's what I was gonna say, okay? Oh, say it. I'm not afraid to say it. I don't even really know who he is. Which gives me a lot of power to make jokes. Okay, sorry. Why am I so fast? Oh, because I'm excited is happening. That's right, okay. Help. Okay, you're fine, you're fine. What's happening? No, I'm not fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. Ross from Friends. I'm fine. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. All right. So you're saying there's a chance. Pretty good, but it's hard for me to give up that much HP. Did we not have? No, we had guppy items on our last run. That was literally like a day ago. Like a day and a half. And still my brain's getting locked on it. Okay, I mean, I think you gotta try Incubus at least. Kinda. I don't know, man. I don't know. Don't talk to me, okay? I still like Isaac. There was like a week ago where I was like, I hate this game. I don't think the update really has much to do with the rejuvenation. I think I've just had a little bit better luck, honestly. But I will say, every run that comes up, and then, like, we definitely need to keep the Jar of Souls, but every run that comes up and I have, you know, below default rate of fire and my only damage upgrade for the whole run has been the negative, I do find myself being like, what did I do to you? I don't think I'm having below average luck. I think, like, you know, that's I never considered myself to have above average luck in this game. I always just thought that, you know, people have a victim complex. Whenever they see me having a below average luck run, they go, that's average. Whenever they see me having an above average luck run, they go, what? That's the crazy. He had one of those last week. That never happens to me. Yeah, well, try living through the caves on some of your garbage runs, and you might actually live long enough to get saved on a deal with the angel on the depths or something like that, okay? Straw man, straw man. I mean, it actually happens, but straw man. Okay, so I don't know what I chose violence today, okay? I'm sorry. Entitled streamer complains about main game having no damage, then proceeds to beat end game boss in record time. I didn't think I'd get hit there. In my defense, I didn't think I'd get hit there. Wow, dude, how do we get 19 souls again? Holy bursh. Love me some diagonal shooting here. That was actually, like, truth be told, that was actually a fun run. For all the complaining, it was a fun run, and I gotta say big ups to Jar of Souls, which means big ups to Duality, maybe, for making it happen. For now, though, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. And for now, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya!